What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to EP09. Alright, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back for yet another bodybuilding news update. We're going to start this one off with an update from Neckzilla. So we do have confirmation that Neckzilla will not be competing at the 2024 Prague Pro, which marks 5 shows in 2024 that Neckzilla has committed to, but has not competed in. So I actually went directly to Neckzilla's coach, Francisco Jose Espin, to really find out exactly why Neckzilla has not competed in any of the shows that he decided to commit to, except for the Dubai Pro. We did see him on stage there, not necessarily at his best, but we do have some further information. I'll get to that in just a minute here. But Neckzilla did drop a new YouTube video on his channel as well, where he does confirm that he does have aspirations to be on that Olympia stage in 2025, which was very interesting because many fans at this point believe that he's just not serious about stepping on that Olympia stage and being compared with the best of the best. But as Neckzilla does say here, he says here, I promise you that by 2025, we will be classified for the Olympia, so that he will qualify for the Olympia here. But of course, there is a very long road between now and when Neckzilla actually stands on the Olympia stage. We need to see this guy compete. We need to see a qualification. So for somebody that does have ambitions to stand on the Olympia stage, why is it that we have not seen him compete the majority of the time, the vast majority of the time, during the 2024 season? So like I said, I did go directly to Neckzilla's coach to ask the exact question surrounding his most recent show, being the Prague Pro that he had to drop out of, why it is that we will not see Neckzilla stand on that Prague Pro stage. So Francisco actually said to me here, Rubiel has not yet finished obtaining his visa, which has delayed us a lot since the idea was to return to Spain and continue with his preparation, but in the end, it has not been possible since they are still processing the visa. Therefore, it is possible that he will only do a guest posing in the show. So that's one thing that I actually was not expecting to hear from Rubiel's coach here. The fact that Rubiel would step on stage at the EVLS Prague Pro as a guest poser was very surprising to me. Now, at the same time, Rubiel is sponsored directly by the EVLS Prague Pro, so he may just have an obligation to step on stage even from that aspect of just being a guest poser, which I actually think would be a little bit weird, to be honest. You know, the guy took 3rd in the show last year. The fact that he can go to Prague, but he couldn't do his prep with his coach in Spain due to a visa issue, I just don't necessarily think it's the best look, but it may be better than nothing for Rubiel. Francisco also said here, since he doesn't have a visa yet, he only has 1 month to stay in Spain, but I think there won't be any problems entering Prague. In a few weeks, he should have the visa and be able to return to Spain. So the plan is for Rubiel to do an entire prep in Spain with his coach. I guess they don't want to do anything over the internet in order to send pictures and send update videos, things like that. Francisco wants Rubiel there directly with him in order to do a proper preparation. Now, there's been no talk about what shows might be in the future for Neckzilla, but if he is planning on going back to Spain here soon, we can assume that we may see Neckzilla on stage within the first quarter, or at least the first half of the bodybuilding season, which I think Neckzilla honestly needs to get on stage sooner than later and show up in phenomenal shape to really gain that favor with the fans at this point. The fact that we are seeing this blamed on a visa issue where he was not able to go to Spain to actually prep with his coach. He could make it to the show itself, but he could not make it back to Spain in order to do an in-person prep. What do you guys think about that in particular? Do you think we will see Rubiel Mosquera step on the Olympia stage in 2025, or really any stage in 2025 for that matter? Will these visa issues continue to be a problem for Rubiel, or will we finally see the biggest mass monster in the entirety of the IFBB finally come in and show us what he's worth? You guys let me know below.
This is what we're doing now. As far as I know, everyone wants to know, who's your coach? Is it Honey? Is it Outlaw? Who is that?
Nick Walker offering some updated information on his current coaching situation. Going into the 2025 season, this will be a very important decision for Nick Walker. Now, we have heard some rumors of Boss of Outlaw being his next coach. A lot of speculation out there about Boss of Outlaw, actually. Hani Rambod, another name that's been thrown out there about a potential coach for Nick Walker. But Nick does speak to where he's at with the current coaching situation here. Let's check it out.
I'm on the mends of making a decision very soon, but it's none of those. I'll just tell you that now.
So confirmation directly from Nick Walker that he will not be coached by Boss of Outlaw and he will not be coached by Hani Rambod. So really that leaves the question of who will be Nick Walker's next coach. Now, I'll put the entire video here in the description for you guys, but Nick also spoke about overcoming adversity in this video and how he really doesn't feel like he's making a comeback in the 2025 season. He really feels like he never left, given the circumstances surrounding why he did not step on the Olympia stage for the past 2 years in a row. But when it comes to the 2025 season, Nick is looking forward to that, and I can confirm, I actually heard on another podcast, that Nick will plan on doing multiple shows in 2025. He does have some idea of the shows that he wants to do, but the plan is to do something back-to-back or back-to-back-to-back. So 2, if not 3 shows that we could see Nick Walker compete in 2025, which I think would serve him very well in the eyes of the fans. I think that's exactly what people would want to see from Nick Walker at this point, and given the fact that he will have a new coach, it will be an opportunity for his new coach to really figure out what is going to work for Nick Walker. Now, there have been some posts from Nick on his Instagram lately after he took a very long break of really not posting any physique updates. And I actually saw some people speaking online about how his physique looks tired or he doesn't look like he's the same bodybuilder. And of course, I really think that's obvious at this point. Nick is not on a heavy PED cycle right now. We can assume he is trying to regain some size that he feels like he's lost over the last little bit of time here. So this is not the Nick Walker that we will expect to see in 2025. Currently doing 2 leg days a week, so trying to bring up that really weak body part being his legs here. You guys, I actually think that this is a very good version of Nick Walker, given the stage that he is at in his prep right now. And as soon as he does start working with a coach, I am sure that they will come up with the plan, start executing that plan, and then we will start to see drastic changes from Nick Walker. As for who that next coach could possibly be, really 2 names come to mind for me. The first one being Patrick Tor. Patrick having a very good track record of working with some of the mass monsters in the sport. You know, Ian Valier being a very successful client of his, taking 7th in the world on the Olympia stage twice. I think that could be a good fit for Nick. Patrick also known for being very regimented when it comes to his competitors being on point with exactly what Patrick is asking here. I think that could serve Nick very well. You know, Nick is a very regimented guy, so that could be a good dynamic between those two. And I think Patrick could definitely take Nick to new heights with his physique. Conditioning is something Patrick is very well known for with his competitors, so we may see a very good version of Nick Walker if he does decide to work with Patrick Tor. The other name that comes to mind for me, actually Milos Sarcev. And you guys got to hear me out on this one, okay? First off, Nick does still spend some time training in Vegas. He's planning on going back and forth from Florida to Vegas on a regular basis here, or to whatever degree, but Milos is actually stationed in Vegas full time. So Nick would be able to be with Milos in person for off-season, for potential preparation of a show. But the really interesting dynamic to that could be the fact that Milos has been quite critical of Nick's physique in the past. He has always given Nick his due on, you know, his strengths when it comes to being a mass monster, the conditioning factor. Milos has always given him that. But he's also been critical of Nick, you know, not having that aesthetic flow that really is being emphasized and being awarded in bodybuilding these days. But it would be very interesting to see Milos Sarcev have full reign over Nick Walker's physique to really bring out what he would consider the best of Nick Walker. Being so critical, he might just be the guy for the job. And you know, those guys do get along fairly well, I feel. So that might be another very interesting pick for Nick Walker. Unexpected, I think it would be, but it might just be the right fit. You guys let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Who do you think Nick Walker's new coach will be, now that we know for sure that it will not be Hani Rambod and it will not be Bossa Outlaw. But there are definitely some very exciting updates to come from Nick Walker in the very near future. But I'm going to wrap up the video right here. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Really appreciate all the support. Again, thank you for tuning in to EP09. Be sure to like and subscribe.